Hi friends, my name's Tammy and this is my booktube channel, Believe in Yourself. And today I have for you um, another one of my reading like videos. And for the month of October, I am going to be reading like Stephen King. I think that's totally appropriate for October. So I have 4 books here that I'm going to be reading. Usually I read 5, but one of these is going to take me a little bit longer to read, so I just decided to go with 4 books. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Stephen King. I found so many lists of his favorite books. He loves a lot of books. I saw in multiple interviews that he says he usually reads about 3 hours a night. And so he does a lot of reading, and I thought most of his books would be horror books that he reads. And I was really surprised to find out how many books he reads that are not horror. I'm going to give you a few ideas of some of the books and authors that he liked, although there are hundreds of them. He said that he likes Ray Bradbury, Cormac McCarthy, Dan Simmons, Agatha Christie, the Harry Potter series, To Kill a Mockingbird, Oliver Twist, Psycho, Pride and Prejudice. So he has a very eclectic reading taste. And um, like I said, I found a whole bunch of his lists of books that he recommends and loves and are his favorites. But I also found a quote where he said, "As you scan this list, please remember that I'm not Oprah, and this isn't my book club. These are the ones that worked for me, that's all. They're apt to entertain you. They certainly entertained me." So I did pick 4 books off of the lists that I found, and I'm going to be reading those in October. And I'm going to start with a series that he says he loves, and I have been needing a reason to read this. So I have J.R.R. Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Rings. And I am going to read this in October, and I'm very excited about it. I've never read these books. I have read The Hobbit multiple times, and I absolutely love that book. So I'm hoping I enjoy this series also. Then, this is the book that I think I'm most excited that he recommends as one of his favorites. It's by Jodi Picoult, and it's 19 minutes. And I am really looking forward to this one. Let me just read the back to you. It's just got a little paragraph here. It says, Sterling is an ordinary New Hampshire town where nothing ever happens until the day its complacency is shattered by an act of violence. Josie Cormier, the daughter of the judge sitting on the case, should be the state's best witness, but she can't remember what happened before her very own eyes. Or can she? As the trial progresses, fault lines between the high school and the adult community begin to show, destroying the closest of friendships and families. 19 Minutes asks what it means to be different in our society, who has the right to judge someone else, and whether anyone is ever really who they seem to be. So I'm looking forward to that one. Thank you for recommending that, Stephen King. Now this one says it's Jurassic, he said about this, it's Jurassic Park meets Lord of the Flies. And he also really liked both of those books. And I loved Jurassic Park and Lord of the Flies too. So this is by Windsor, Chorlton, Latitude 0. Oh, I can't wait for this one too. Let me read you this little part about it. It says, the deadliest thing ever to have washed up on the shores of this remote island has just arrived, man. For the castaways, here was the chance to act out their dream of living at one with nature. But as the food runs out and hopes of rescue fade, they discover that in the rainforest, the only rule that counts is kill or be killed. Bit by bit, the facade of civilization cracks, and the camp divides into those who would save their skins at any cost and those who stand by their ecological principles. When a new terror emerges from the steam of the mangroves, the hunters become the hunted, and one by one the victims begin to fall. Spend 4 days lost in paradise and find out just how far you'll go to survive. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then the last book I have here that I'm going to read that he recommends is called A Patchwork Planet by Anne Tyler. I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring in the background. Sorry if you do. Okay, let me read what this one's about. This one sounds good. I feel like I've read this one before, but it must have been a really long time ago. Okay, Barnaby Gatelin has been in trouble ever since adolescence. He had this habit of breaking into other people's houses. It wasn't the big loot he was after, like his teenage cohorts. It was just that he liked to read other people's mail, pore over their family photo albums, and appropriate a few of their precious mementos. But for 11 years now, he's been working steadily for Rent-A-Back, renting his back to old folks and shut-ins who can't move their own porch furniture or bring the Christmas tree down from the attic. At last, his life seems to be on an even keel. Still, the Gatelins of old Baltimore cannot forget the price they paid for buying off Barnaby's former victims, and his ex-wife would just as soon he didn't show up ever to visit their little girl, Opal. Even the nice, steady woman, his guardian angel, who seems to have designs on him, doesn't fully trust him, it develops, when the chips are down, and it looks as though his world may fall apart again. So I think that this one will be really good. I read an Anne Tyler book several months ago, and I really enjoyed it. So this one sounds familiar, but maybe I've just heard my mom talk about it. I borrowed this copy from my mom, so maybe I've just heard her talk about it, but I'm looking forward to reading that. So those are the 4 books that I'll be reading in October as I read like Stephen King. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a wonderful stack of books in front of you for the month. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.